Hey everyone, Krinagar Gamer here, and today I will be reviewing Star Trek Online for the console. This game's been out for PC for about 6 years now, and I've seen 11 and a half seasons of gameplay and 3 major expansions, so the Legacy of Romulus, Delta Rising, and the newer Agents of Yesterday. And I've been actively playing this game for 4 years on the PC, and I'm super excited to see that it's out for console now. So let me go ahead and get started with this. I love the lighting enhancements and the added that have been added to the graphics to this game. Playing it on the PC, you can tell that it's 6 years old, but by enhancing this game on console, it makes this game look much newer. The lights are brighter, the shadows are where they need to be. Animations and explosions are absolutely breathtaking now for a game that's been out for 6 years. The controls were a little difficult to figure out at first, but once I got past that and learned how to auto-execute the ships and the ground abilities, battles seemed a lot better, much easier to deal with. In terms of the space missions, they're much harder on console. I feel that the lock-on button doesn't always seem to lock on, and it doesn't switch correctly every time. This makes battles with multiple enemies confusing and chaotic. I do like the throttle controls on the console. If it also had a full stop, and you can see on the screen in the bottom left-hand corner where the throttle is, you'll see the arrow up. Press and hold the arrow up, that allows the throttle to fully extend, but if you press and hold down, it doesn't do anything. You literally have to press it 5 times to get your ship to go to all stop, and if you press it one too many times, it does reverse. So in certain scenes of the game, when you're trying to play it, what happens is you get stuck and you have to back it up and you got to go forward. There are certain missions where you actually have to be close to a particular item to activate it, like if you're working on a satellite or whatnot, so that you can actually complete the mission. But if you back up or go too far, it stops. And it's just like on the PC, you kind of have to do the same thing, but I would love to see this have a auto throttle. Next to that, you'll see the 4 buttons on the corner that you go left or right. Those are your power distribution systems, similar to the PC, except on the console, you don't have the ability to change them. You only can go all weapons or all auxiliary or all shields or all engines. On the PC, it's a lot easier. Now, in terms of ground combat, now that you see what's just come on the screen, the ground combat, it seems to be made for console. Console, because of the 3D shooters out there, this is perfect. I love the camera angles. The auto lock-on feature is a little bit tricky. Sometimes it likes to lock onto your friendlies before it locks on to an enemy, so in a heated battle you might accidentally lock on. The easiest fix for that is to just let go of the auto target, try to aim again, and just keep aiming. So I always let go of the trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, and just constantly go back and forth. As with all free-to-play MMOs, the game will feel a little repetitious. Each mission seems like there's a little bit of space combat, and then you beam down to the surface and you do a little ground combat. You're always searching for something and moving on. Now, in most MMOs, you don't get the voice acting. Some of these missions used on the PC do have voice acting. They're missing here on the console. I can only hope that they're working on that. They rushed this game out to try to get it finished in time. It makes sense. The missions on this game make total sense to the canon of Star Trek. Those of us who are true Trek fans like I have seen every episode of every show. These fit perfectly within that, and even bringing in, the Kelvin timeline where J.J. Abrams had veered it off. This does take place after the destruction of Romulus and Remus, when Ambassador Spock does fix the timeline. But he does, of course, switch to the other timeline. So this fits perfectly within the series of shows. I find that to be really good. So, with that in mind, here are my good, bad, and uglies of Star Trek Online for the console. So the good, graphics overall, great. Gameplay is still good for a game that's 6 years old. It ported over very well to the console, which I hope can carry on for a few more years. This game's been out for 6 years. I mean, you've seen other MMOs like EverQuest that have kind of fizzled out. World of Warcraft is still going strong. Star Trek Online I would love to see continue to go strong even now that the console has been added to this game. DC Universe Online, another great game that was on PC, ported to console, is done very well. I hope that this game can continue that. As for the bad, I think it's just a few bugs. Many other games nowadays have those. I mean, it seems to be common now. Every game in the world that's produced has some sort of bugs. No game is perfect as they used to be. Because now everybody can get on, everybody has online, their ability to download, so that's what's going to happen. PS4 and Xbox One, anytime you have any new updates to the game, I've noticed that we're not seeing the releases like we do on the console. Every week, maintenance comes up, there's bug fixes, there's new content that's released on a more consistent basis. I don't see that happening with console because PlayStation and Xbox both need to make sure it all works first. They test it themselves before they release it, so we might have that. The biggest ugly that I see is that this is a PC game ported to console. Players of the PC game will hate the console and convince others to hate it as well. So, and you got to remember that PC and console will always have this battle. PC players will say PC is better, console players will say console is better. They're both good systems. I use both PC and console. Certain games work well for PC, certain games work well for console. You can't compare the two. Now, in terms of this game, I find it very well built for the console. I think it should have been on console from the get-go, but I know PlayStation 3 just didn't have the capabilities. Menu systems here are wonderful. I really do hope that this has been helpful for those who are thinking to play this game. I really love it. I enjoy it, and you're going to see more content on my channel for it. Do stay tuned for my channel for more Star Trek Online console content. You can also follow me on Twitter and watch my live streams on Twitch to stay up to date. You can find all of this in the description below on this video. If you have anything, please leave me comments on other content you would like to see from the console game. Also, any questions you may have, I'll try to answer those as best I can if I know the answer. Like I said, I've been playing Star Trek Online for 4 years. Console, of course, being so new, I'm still learning. I'm only level 42 now. This, of course, is a video when I was level 35. Most of all, I thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe for more content from me. This is Krinagar Gamer, thanking you for watching, and always live long and prosper.